Dear students, we were just working on this apple on the last tutorial, and this is a quite good example to be working with a little bit of paper structure or working with different qualities of layers. So I'm going to be using the same apple that we did on the last tutorial, and I'm going to get a paper structure. You can use as well the different structures coming out from photos you did. So start collecting, and sometimes very subtle structures are much nicer than something that is too present. I'm going just to use this one first. I'm selecting it all and I'm copying it by pressing Command A and copying by pressing Command C. And you can see that this structure has already some color in it. So I'm going to start with this one. And I'm going to Command V onto my illustration. And we can see how for now I have this position between my shadow number 1 and the shadow number 2. I'm going up a little bit until I reach the points that I have the yellow apple underneath it. And now instead of having this layer as a standard layer, I'm going to select Überzug. It's called Überzug in German. It's just underneath the negative multiply. And now you can see what happens. Everything underneath this layer that has some color is going to receive this texture. So at the moment I go a little bit higher, I'm going to be adding this texture to more informations. At the moment I go a little bit lower, I give this information to the layers that are only underneath it. So since we were working with some transparency, this layer is with 51% transparency. I'm going to have still a little bit of the texture coming through, and I like to have it actually not everything with the same type of texture, but I like to be working with flat and texturized images. We have luck that this texture is kind of in red. I could change the color of it as well, and I could actually take the whole color out. So I'm just going to standard, and if we go under effect, we have the possibility of changing the color, and here I would just go to 0 saturation, and I would like to be working as well a little bit with the contrast. We have here already 50% or 50 contrast and a little bit of lightness. And now I'm going back, instead of having standard, I'm going to Überzug. And now you can see that I respect the colors that I had before without having any color influence into this texture. So I have the original colors that I used for the illustration with the texture that I just selected. Like this, I can really nicely combine these two informations. If I would like to have this texture on the entire illustration, I would just need to change its position. But you can see that this is a little bit more disturbing. It may be a little bit too confusing. And at the moment you go a little bit lower with this order, you have a little bit of texture, but it's not the whole thing. So you just need to decide what is important for your illustration by this point. You can as well change the quality, like for example to, oops, sorry, I have to select the layer, and I can, for example, multiply it, or we could just say smooth light, but then you can see that the entire image is getting this texture and not only the areas with the color. So that's why I like so much to be working with this layer quality. Okay, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you can use different textures as well combined with this layer quality, and we talk to each other on the next tutorial. Bye bye.